Hi friends, I want to come on here and talk about meal prepping for the carnivore diet, which actually isn't a new topic for me to talk about at all because throughout my health journey I've been talking about meal prepping and making things easier. There was a time that my husband and I had all these meal prep containers like with different sections, so you just like flop some protein or rice or whatever it is that you're putting together, and we used to like have this assembly line and we used to do all this stuff. We used to spend all day on Sunday meal prepping. It was like Saturday was our shopping day, Sunday was our meal prep day, and like I felt like it took up my entire weekend. But anyway, like when I switched over to carnivore, things changed a lot. And actually, when I was doing the autoimmune protocol, I kind of started doing batch cooking and just making large batches of food that would feed me for lunches, dinners, breakfasts, whatever throughout the week. But now with carnivore, I feel like there's really not a lot of prep work. I mean, think about it, like I basically eat meat and I don't have to worry about any sides. I don't have to worry about any vegetables. I mean, my husband still eats vegetables sometimes, but what we do is we just buy like the frozen bags of veggies and I throw it in the microwave for him. So it's really not anything extra to prep. But yeah, carnivore is super easy. I'm going to give you some of my top tips for meal prepping on the carnivore diet. Alright, so first things first, I really think that either a grill or a grill pan, which is what we have, will become your best friend because it's so easy to just throw a pork chop, chicken, steak, whatever you want. Just throw it on the grill for a couple minutes aside. That's it, you're done, you're good to go. And you can throw it together last minute, right before you eat. I just think it's so easy. And I say that we have a grill pan. I have like the cast iron grill pan, and it actually tastes really good because we don't have a grill right now. We live in an apartment. The grill is like over by the pool, and right now the pool's closed anyway, so we won't be able to use it, and we just don't do that. So in the future, when we move, we will get a grill, and we'll probably be doing this a lot in the summertime. But for right now, we use our grill pan, and it really helps out. You can do batch cooking with the carnivore diet. It's really easy. The way I like to do it is I get a roast, and a roast, make a lot. You throw it in your crock pot with some water and salt, and it can be any kind of roast. You let it cook all day while you're at work in your crock pot on low, and you come home, you have this amazing roast. It lasts several days, and you can actually use the juices from that roast. I save them, and then I sip it for breakfast, and it's like a meat broth, and it's really good. So that's a way that you can batch cook, and really what batch cooking is making a lot that will last for days. And I do the same thing with a lot of times burgers. I really like having burgers on hand. So what you can do is you can buy a bunch of ground beef. You can make burger patties and freeze them, and then they're just ready to go whenever you want to pull a burger out. Like, I feel like having a burger, just throw it on your grill pan. Or what you can do is it's easy enough just to make the patties as you go. And you can also like just make a whole bunch, store them in your fridge. I mean, they're not going to last as long versus, having them in your freezer, but they're already made, so you just have to heat them up in the microwave real quick or your air fryer or whatever. So I like doing that. I like having a lot of burgers on hand. And another thing you can do is a rotisserie chicken. They're really inexpensive. You can get them at the store, and here's a tip. You can get the hot rotisserie chickens, or you can get the ones that are cold, and the ones that are cold cost less money. So if you're not going to eat it right away, get the cold one, and then you can doctor it up however you want. Cook it up, throw it in the oven, throw it in your air fryer or whatever you want to do with it to heat it up, and it's so good. You just have to be careful on the seasoning because they might throw, lemon pepper or whatever that you might not want that seasoning. So just read everything. I mean, you can find like natural, not seasoned chicken, rotisserie chicken. It's out there, so that's a really good option. It's inexpensive, so I really like that option. Some like emergency foods to have maybe on hand, maybe not the best, but I always have tuna. Tuna is high in mercury, so I know it's not the best for you, but I always have it on hand because it makes really great lunches. I can just if I don't have leftovers, just throw it in my lunch, or I eat it with my dinner or snack or whatever. So I do that. Beef jerky, cold cuts. These aren't the best options maybe, but they're there for you if you need them, like emergency. All right, another important thing that I want to talk about before I forget is don't look at your breakfast, lunch, and dinner as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast food doesn't have to be breakfast food. Dinner doesn't have to be dinner food. It could be breakfast. It doesn't matter. Like, be open to just eating whatever leftovers you have in the fridge, combining different things to make meals. I mean, like, if I have a little bit of leftover, like, say I have one meatball and, you know, like, I have my can of tuna, sometimes I just throw stuff together. It doesn't matter. You just, you know, eat when you're hungry and eat whatever you have on hand, you know? Don't stress out about it too much. It doesn't have to be breakfast food for breakfast, dinner food for dinner. Just meal 1, 2, and 3, or however many meals you eat. If you're fasting, then it's one less meal you have to worry about, which is kind of nice. But anyway, so another thing is you can have really easy access things in your house, like eggs. Eggs are like so easy just to throw on a pan and cook up. So eggs, bacon is really easy. Have that on hand. So those are just a couple of like really just easy snacky things that you can have. And the same thing with like the burgers I said, make up a whole bunch and then you have them in your fridge for whenever you need them. Also, eating a lot of fat in your diet, it might help you, might make you feel good, first of all, because it really helped with my gut issues. If I eat too much protein, I feel a little bit bloated, so I try to eat a lot of fat, and, you know, it could help you lose weight, it could help you feel better, but most importantly, it fills you up and it satisfies you, so you're eating less of the protein. So that means that you're cooking less, because, you know, like, I make a meal for my family, and if I don't eat a lot of fat, then I'm eating more of that, whatever I made, like, say I made a roast or whatever. I'm eating more of that roast and I'm gonna have to cook again in the next couple days. Whereas if I add a lot of fat, I'm eating less of that roast each day and it lasts longer. So, you know, the fat really does fill you up, so you're eating, you know, less protein and it just works for me. So there's that. Oh, and if you do have the extra time to do some meal prep, some things that I recommend prepping are, like, if you make your own beef jerky, you know, that might take a little while, but it's definitely worth it. I have I just did a recipe post on my homemade roast beef. It is to die for, and the only thing it's seasoned with is salt. It is so good. It does take some time. It's very easy, but it takes time. So things like that, if you do want to do some prep, you can do that. As far as the fat goes, if you're wondering, like, how I add more fat into my diet, I actually get fat trimming, raw fat trimming, and what I'll do is I get it from the store. It's very inexpensive. I just ask the butcher for, you know, fat trimmings, and then I cut it up, and that is my prep. Like, that is basically how I prep for the week, is I cut my fat trimmings up into little pieces so I can freeze them and then easily snack on them when I need to. So that is, I would say that's how I prep. And then I just try to make a lot of meat at every meal, and some nights, you know, like maybe on Monday and Tuesday, like, I'll make a new dish each night, and then on Wednesday I have, like, just, I compile them and, like, eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so I have options. I don't know, I do it differently every week, I swear. Like, it's just totally random, whatever I feel like eating. I always try to have eggs and bacon on hand, and then my fat trimmings, and that's about it. Like, it's really not hard to meal prep on a carnivore diet. So anyway, I hope that helps you. I will share links to, I forgot to mention bone broth. Bone broth, making it yourself is so inexpensive. You're using the bones that you already have from previous meals, so save those bones from steak or whatever and throw them in the freezer for when you're ready to make your bone broth. Take the bones out of the freezer and put them in the fridge about a day before you want to make your bone broth. And it's so easy. You throw the bones in a crock pot, cover up with water, some salt, let it cook for at least 8 hours on low, you know, strain it, make sure you don't get any gunk in your bone broth, put it in mason jars. Like, this past week, I made 4 big mason jars worth of bone broth, and I'm telling you, like, one of those mason jars, like, if I were to buy equivalent amount at the store already made, like quality bone broth, it would be $6 to $7, and I did it for free. So I'll post a link to that recipe and other resources, and I hope that helps you.